Hello friends, I am Movie Recap NL and this is the film World Breaker. Creatures that emerged from underground devastated the entire world. Before watching the video, don't forget to press like and write your name in the secret comments to become the hero of the new film. Let's get started. The war, famine, and change of environment that lasted many years turned the world into ruins. While some people were very afraid for humanity, these creatures emerged from underground. The men fought these creatures and struggled fiercely until their last breath. Their women also joined the fight. At midnight, Sabrina's people fought fiercely. While the distant creatures screamed, the battle in the present advanced. The Breakers' attack lasted 15 years. Sabrina's husband and brother told their daughter Nazin about the Buzzconsiler. The Breakers had lived underground for years, and because of human greed, glaciers melted, forests burned, and they emerged to the surface and started fires. In the past, a man named Baxadir killed hundreds of Buzzconsiler with one blow of his hammer. Without delay, the soldiers announced evacuation. While they packed their belongings and prepared to leave, they thought it might be impossible to meet again after today. Sabrina's comrades went ahead. The brother and Nazin's family talked with the locals. Far away, explosions occurred due to the Buzzconsiler attack. On the way, soldiers spoke about the terrifying creature that the Breakers had become. Nazin, wrapped in a blanket from fear, talked about the hammer-wielder Baxadir. Others had heard about him too, but everyone had their own opinion. A few hours later, the Breakers' attack began. Everyone, including Dakshit, looked at each other anxiously. The woman protecting them ordered them not to hesitate and join the fight. Soon, creatures appeared. One of the creatures grabbed a woman and left. The survivors, called Shuzaks, started running to save their lives. The attackers passed through the gunfire, took a car, and tried to escape. The creature started shaking the car and then ran to another car, hitting children inside. The creature took the child and left. The mother also followed after him. While Nazin cried, another creature caught up to them and a soldier confronted it with a sword, cutting its head off. They saved them with patience and remained. He led the soldiers and his people to a safe forest and grew resistance. Nazin was shocked, protecting the people gathered along the way. One of the elderly started bleeding from the eye and a soldier killed him. When they entered the forest, creatures began to approach, alarming the soldiers, and Sabrina ordered her daughter to pass through with her father. The soldiers formed a group and jumped into battle. The father and daughter reached a river where boats were gathered, got on one, and sailed across to a safe place in the middle of the sea. A year passed from there. They continued to live in peace in that place. The Lord, if necessary, was ready to protect his daughter with a fighting sword, but he would not leave the current shelter. At night, he asked his father to tell a story. Baxadir, the sharp hammer wielder, had destroyed all the enemies and was the first to see the crack from which the Buzzconsiler came out. Baxadir was the first to kill Buzzconsiler with his hammer to save humanity, and because of this, he became feared by creatures. Nazin watched something and thought about the possibility of separation from her father. The father and daughters planned to meet the next day and went to the riverbank to see the Breakers. The brother emphasized that the creatures lacked eyes and ears and explained that the Gibrit used eyes and ears as weapons in their tribe. When Nazin asked why they attacked people, the brother said they considered the land their home and advised her to inform others about their people. After this, Nazin's daily training began. The girl moved like children at her age, which conformed to her father's norms. During training, her father shared thoughts about the Breakers and Gibrit. The Breakers were terrifying, but she could not defeat the Gibrit spirit. Despite the many questions about her walking style around the lake, Nazin protected her daughter's movement carefully. She could hold the sword with her hand, but then she changed her mind and started pulling it out. The girl, remembering her mistakes, stopped and accepted the lessons she had received. The frightened girl hugged Nazin and calmed down. She took the girl with her from the monsters who had come to burn the house. She learned the girl's name was Mexlia. She lived with her family in the same broken boats. The attacks of the Breakers stopped and the fights ended, but she was trapped in her own loneliness. Although Nazin sometimes lost her way, she still asked to stay a little longer. The girl who fell asleep there woke up, and Mexlia's still unwaking condition was protected. She raised her head and showed the scar her father had given her. The brother frowned and looked at her seriously. However, this made the girl more determined to protect herself and reminded her of the hard lessons ahead. The girl apologized but intended to speak about Mexlia. Quietly, while her father was asleep, the girl took the chance to sneak away and brought Mexlia. The girl asked her questions and felt as if Nazin was living alone there. Although Mexlia began telling the story about Baxadir to Nazin, Mexlia thought she was dead. But Nazan said she needed to believe in goodness and told about Baxadir's battles against the Busgansiler. After encountering a terrifying creature, the soldiers learned about the Gibrit. It could not be killed with arrows, and Baxadir broke its head with his hammer. People learned they had to defeat the Gibrit spirit with respect. Nazan's father's fierce battle was known, and people remembered his heroic deeds. Before leaving, the girl asked about her departure. The next day, training continued. Nazan was only a little tired and weak. On the way home, there was a quarrel among the soldiers, and they expressed their desire for Nazan's help in the fight against the breakers. The Lord, with confidence, and the young man stood by her side. The girl returned the next day. However, Mexlia was nowhere to be found. Her belongings were in disarray. Someone from the breakers must have moved her, and Nazan went after her. Mexlia was caught by a terrible Gibrit, and Nazan followed her and rushed towards her. When the young lord arrived, the creature was about to attack him, but it had no effect on him, and the man with a sword fought and defeated it. The lord took his daughter out of there and told her she needed to pass through this place. This Gibrit could report to the breakers. They gathered their weapons and prepared to move to the safe zone. The lord stopped in the forest, and a few hours later, a distant explosion was heard. While fleeing through the streets, the girl was injured and stopped. Nazan waited 10 seconds in that place, but the brother was deeply worried about her father. The father had already delivered Nazan's wounds and comforted her. However, the injury from the attack caused her pain. He took his daughter in his arms and left her in a difficult condition, but the brother tried to calm her as the injury was painful. After that, the girl continued on her way. The exhausted brother fell, and Meluia's Gibrit father appeared. When the brother asked his daughter to leave, she refused and drew her sword. The Gibrit attacked, but the girl's strike split his intention in two. The brother was very happy with his daughter. When they arrived at safety, the brother ordered her to go alone. But the girl did not want to carry her sword and was afraid to leave her mother. She cut the ropes and seemed to fall into the boat, but she could not do that. When the brother started bleeding from wounds, Nazan decided to face the sword fight. Then Sabrina's soldiers arrived to help. The breakers appeared, and the last battle began. That's all, friends. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to press like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next episodes. Goodbye.